The numbers are in. I just ran some numbers to see which is better. I've always been curious. I try to sell more product all the time, and I also try to get more tip percentage. But I've always wondered which was better, tip percentage or overall sales, as far as making more money goes. And the results are in. I looked at selling $1,000 at a 20% gratuity and tip share is 5%. If you do that, you're making 15% give or take. And if you're selling if you're doing all those numbers, $1,000 a day at a 20% tip rate, giving 5% back to the house, you're giving the house 33% of what you make, and you're making $39,000. If you were to sell $1,000 a day and you made 24% gratuity, you're only giving the house 26% of what you make. You make an extra 7% of what you make, you get to keep. So you're making $49,000. You make $10,000 a year more. However, if you're selling $1,200 to make your 240 instead of making 4% more to make 240 rather than 200. The house, you're going to tip them an extra $10 a day. That's $2,600 a year. You're back to 33% going to the house. You're going to make 46,000. Here's all the numbers. I mean, I don't know if any of this makes sense to you. It's kind of convoluted on the sheet there. You can screenshot that, whatever you want to do. But the bottom line is this. If you're selling more rather than making more gratuity, you'd be better off by 7% to make a higher gratuity at 24%. Now, the real best deal is as follows. You ready? Instead of counting on, just work both sides. I've always said there's so much more to serving. You can sell more, you can make more, you can pick up more tables, so many ways. But listen to this. You ready for this? If you were to work both sides of that, so you're going to sell 1,200 rather than 1,000, and you're going to make 24% gratuity rather than 20% gratuity. You're going to give the house, once again, you're back to 26% because you're making a higher gratuity. You're going to make $59,000 for the year. You're going to make 20 G more for the year just by bumping your sales $200 a day and increasing your tip percentage by 4%. So you're giving better service and selling a little more. And you know what? I kind of think that when it comes right down to it, when you're giving better service, it seems to me as though my guests order a little more when I'm getting better service. It's like it's more worth their while. And then they tip a higher percentage on it's a win, 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 win situation, in my opinion. I can't stress that enough. When you start giving better service, your guests are happier. You're more likely to get repeat guests, return guests, request guests, whatever you call them, call parties. And those generally are easier to serve and tip better. And when you give the better service, your people order more and are easier to serve. There are less problems at the table. So giving better service truly is like a total win all the way around. You get more reviews. Lets people ask for you when they come in. Are you asking your people for reviews? And if they give a review, please, 5-star. And if you would mention my name, I would appreciate it. That way someone else can enjoy the service you just enjoyed. I don't want to feel big-headed about that, but that's where you need to be. You need to be in that situation, thinking that way about your service. If you aren't giving that level of service, get out of the industry, please. Like, if all you're doing is cashing a paycheck at the end of the day and you're happy with 13%, I don't know what to tell you. There are so many things you can do other than serve, and serving's hard work. You might as well be cashing out at the end of the day, right? All right, enough of this. Peace. Have a great day. Increase your sales and increase your service. 20K a year. Work out your numbers and see where you would be at. Bye.